You talked about core funding going to organisations on the ground that are trying to help with the upholding of international humanitarian law. So the UK gives money to the International Humanitarian Fact-Finding Commission, which Poland asked to look at the attacks on the World Central Kitchen. But Britain didn't. And I'm just interested in why we didn't, because Poland did so in a way in which to restore an attitude of respect to IHL. So that's a very specific question. On a broader question, our commitment to the principles of IHL and the humanitarian principles, particularly in the distribution of aid, humanity, impartiality, neutrality and independence, are obviously not being upheld with GHF. Now, for us to claim a commitment to these principles, or for the government to claim a commitment to these principles, there have to be consequential action if those are violated. So my question to you is, what consequential action can we take for these violations of humanitarian law in whichever country, Sudan or Israel? And can I just finish? Sorry, just one last point. And this comes back to your point about recognition of a Palestinian state. And you talked about other countries and nothing happened. Britain is not other countries. We have a really, really key role, as you know, and as you have been proud of and said in the past. We have a key role on the world stage in our upholding of international humanitarian law and our commitment to democracy and democratic principles. Surely we can do more.
What more would you like?
I've already laid out what we could do in Israel. That's only some of this. But my question is to you, Foreign Secretary. What do you think we should do?
Well,
otherwise, as you said, it's a race to the bottom.
I do think the Foreign Secretary has answered that. But if you want to come back with more, Foreign Secretary.
That's the point. I listed all the things that we have done. I think the implication of your question is that it's not sufficient. I think the implication of your question is you'd like us to recognise. I think we had a lengthy debate about recognition. And there are clearly views around the table, and you've expressed yours. Ms. Gilbert has expressed hers. I've explained the balance that we are weighing. I've sensed some frustration from some members, including the committee chair, in relation to that. But I'm not sure, that's why I put it back to you, what more, other than that, would you like us to do? Because I am certainly satisfied that we've met our obligations under international humanitarian law. I'm not satisfied, and I have said that in the strongest terms, with the behaviour of the Israeli government in relation to aid, in relation to the treatment of prisoners, and in relation to expansion and violence on the West Bank particularly. I have also conveyed that and taken action in relation to that.
Sorry,